see right behind me is Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 1004. Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 1004 was built by Baldwin in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1900 and is the 180th steam locomotive built by that factory and is a 460 10-wheeler type steam locomotive and is a G8 class steam locomotive. Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 1004 was originally built as a B4 class steam locomotive. Also, the locomotive was originally numbered as Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 305. Then in 1907 it was renumbered as Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 735. Then in 1912 renumbered to Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 4335. Then in 1920 it was renumbered as Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 2604. Then in 1938 was renumbered to Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 1004 and reclassed as G8. Also, this locomotive spent most of the career on the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Railroad for a long time. This locomotive is one of 25 rebuilt to the G8 class, and this locomotive might have hauled passenger or freight or both when used on the Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul Railroad. Also in 1957, Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 1004 was retired and donated to the city of Austin and was moved to the Mower County Historical Society on panel tracks and sat in a fence on the grounds. And then later a building was constructed around the locomotive, and there's clearly enough space to view the whole locomotive to get a picture of it. But I think I knew how to solve the problem of how to get a whole pic of the locomotive. Also, Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 1004 is the only surviving Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul 460 left in the world today, and can be found here on display at the Mower County Historical Society in Austin, Minnesota, where it is today, and you can even check out the locomotive and even visit the cab and even sit where the engineer and fireman used to sit and maybe blow the whistle, I guess, and you can even ring the bell. And there are times it is open to the public for tours when tour season, and I think it's a free visit on your own during the fair. And I'm also afraid it's impossible the whistle could be blown. And also, if you're wanting to get a good photo, you might have noticed a luggage cart near the locomotive, and if it's sturdy enough for someone to stand on, then it would be a good spot, 'cause I stood on it and did manage to get a good picture of the entire steam engine.